Are we ready to go? Hey, welcome everybody to the 2017. What are we calling it this year? Office Holiday Party.
The Office Holiday Party.
Yeah, for Booked. A little different this year. We're doing it live on YouTube as opposed to in the previous years we did it just audio. But we thought because we have such beautiful faces as well, and we do a gift exchange, so it would be nice if you could see the gifts that we're giving each other. Plus, it's just kind of fun to do it live and everything.
Makes I always felt stupid wearing this hat when we were just doing audio.
Yeah.
So
it makes it easier also for me to edit later because everything you already know the mess ups that we did, so I don't have to cut it out.
So if you're listening to this through our traditional audio feed, know that you are missing great visuals. I'm not going to describe them, but I will tell you somebody is wearing reindeer antlers. So welcome back to the podcast, Misty Bennett. How you doing, Misty?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Misty, is there something wrong with your voice?
I might have the flu.
You might have the flu. Okay.
Diagnosed yesterday, but no fever, and the voice is almost back.
Good. I'm not worried.
Most dedicated booked guest ever.
Yeah, no kidding, right? I'm not worried about you having the flu because I have antivirus on my computer. No worries there on my part. You're there, Jesse. Welcome back again, Jesse. You're a veteran. This has got to be 4 years running for you for the holiday episode, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Most consistent booked guest.
Absolutely. So this is our team. This is the holiday team. We have chosen a movie to review for you, The Nightmare Before Christmas, which all three of my co-hosts have seen, and I have not. Or I have now. Hold on. I have now. I had not previously seen it. So we're probably going to get started with that, and then through the night we're going to do the gift exchange. So here it is, The Nightmare Before Christmas. The synopsis is Jack Skellington, king of Halloween Town, discovers Christmas Town, but his attempts to bring Christmas to his home cause confusion. It's a little iffy on the synopsis, I'd say.
I mean, it's not inaccurate.
No, it's not, but confusion is probably not how I would describe what happens in that movie.
Hey, before we move on, I want to tell you that I have confirmation that the feed is live, first of all. And second of all, Comrade Chrome says, sup, booked gang.
Comrade Chrome is our most consistent viewer.
Yeah.
Right.
It really is. Sup, comrade.
Rob, take us into this movie.
All right, sorry, I was doing the technical stuff and I had to open my beer, so a little not paying attention to what's going on. Where are we at? You read the synopsis.
Yep.
That's it.
I claimed that it maybe was not the best synopsis ever.
All right, yes. So first of all, do we want to talk about our history with this movie? Is this new to anybody, or do you want to go right into talking about it?
Rob was busy with the technical stuff. I have never seen this movie before. I believe all three of you have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Saw it in the theaters when it came out, buddy.
Wow.
So, yeah, I have a long history with this. Although I'm not one of those people that wears like Nightmare Before Christmas, like jerseys and stuff that you see out there. That's my brother.
I'm pretty sure that you're not allowed into a Hot Topic. Is that not also accurate?
There was an incident. Wow, that'd be weird if there was an incident. So, Nightmare Before Christmas. So, I have some broad ideas about this, but I guess we want to talk a little bit about the story, right? So, it starts out at the end of a very successful Halloween. It's like the end of Halloween or the day after or whatever. Everybody's celebrating. Halloween was great, blah, blah, blah. And Jack, as we learn, is the Pumpkin King. And he's like, yeah, everything's great. But like once he gets by himself, he's all like emo about it. He's like, I just can't get all excited about Halloween anymore. And so he has this like kind of mournful song about how life just doesn't mean anything, even though this is like the thing that he's been doing. And you're supposed to feel like sad, like, oh man, buddy's not getting his rocks off from his Halloween thing anymore. This sucks. And so like we start the movie with an emo Jack trying to find his way in life.
That's the best review of that. All right, next topic.
Oh, no. Way more thoughts on this movie. We are nowhere near done.
Want to interrupt for a minute and say, Frank Edler, thanks for joining.
Aw.
probably our second most consistent viewer, I would say at this point.
Yeah.
Uh,
Quoting, what is Merry Christmas, you filthy animals? Is that from something?
Home
Home
Alone.
Alone. Angels with dirty faces.
Yeah.
I think you guys just figured out what we're watching next year. Home Alone.
Yeah, it's Home Alone.
I've got nothing on that. I think I may have seen that on video and not paid attention when it first came out. So
Home Alone. There's some theories about that. There's some theories.
So yeah, basically Jack winds up finding the portal to all of the other holidays and kind of really digs Christmas Town. But my question there is, couldn't they have come up with different names? Couldn't one have been like Christmas Land and Halloween Town and Thanksgivingville or something like that?
Yeah.
But he decides that the Halloween people, him and the Halloween people, are going to take over Christmas this year. But they're going to do it exposed to very little knowledge about the holiday and using the resources they have, which are all Halloween resources. So, and then things go horribly awry, as one might expect.
What could go wrong? Yeah, literally everything. Yeah. So like that's the drive of the movie is Jack and his Halloween people are going to. You knew something was going to go wrong when he kind of like low key told those 3 little trick or treat kids, go get Santa Claus. If kidnapping is at the beginning of your idea, like things are going to go bad.
I will say that I'm going to spoil this. I was not terribly fond of this movie. That being said, those 3 kids, they were the highlight of that movie for me. I didn't even know they were kids, but those 3 little today we'd call them
The
minions,
Boogie Boys.
Right? Yeah, the Boogie Boys. That those guys, I was on board with them.
What do you guys think? Jesse,
Not surprised
Missy?
at all.
Yeah.
Oh, my favorite moment was when they're like, "We looked in the sarcophagi."
So I have some notes. If we can do a couple things. Like, so I took some specific Nightmare Before Christmas notes that I want to talk about. Do you want to talk about the whole story, or can we just kind of go off the rails and start talking about stuff?
Let's talk about your notes, buddy.
Notes.
Wait, no, isn't it tradition to go off the rails on these holiday episodes?
Yeah, I would hope so.
Still early.
So first of all, like my very first, and this is kind of what I talked about in the beginning. My first note is Jack is emo as fuck, and so we've talked about that. And here's all right. So like my thought after that song, especially knowing that Sally chick was in the picture and totally like had a huge crush on Jack. Homeboy just needs to get laid. Like think about like the story would have gone so differently if she just kind of went up to him and was like, "I understand you" at the very beginning of the movie. They would have hooked up. He would have been like, "Oh, Halloween's fine because I got my lady now," and then nothing would have happened with Santa.
So you're thinking. So essentially, what you're saying is there would be no movie if Jack just gave her the bone.
Yeah, I am. That's 100%. Would you agree? Would you not agree?
I would agree. I just want to throw out a bone reference in relation to a skeleton, though. Yeah, that's
Yeah, I like it. And then there was the whole Christmas tree premonition thing. I don't know. I don't remember what I was going to say about that. It's just one of my notes. So,
Speaking of skeletons, like, okay, Tim Burton's American, right? I know he lived in England forever, but he's American, right? So
he's from California.
What's up with this whole skeleton thing? Because that's what they call them over there, but here they're skeletons.
Oh, I'm thinking it just made a better last name for Jack. Would be my thought on that, right?
Yeah.
He wanted Jack to sound a little bougie,
little emo, little bougie, mix it up.
Yeah.
Here are my thoughts on the story and the movie, and then I'll let you guys kind of take over from here. I was bored. I was bored the whole time. I'm a huge Halloween fan. I'm a pretty big Tim Burton fan, and I was essentially bored from that first song till the end of the movie.
Did you know you were getting into a musical?
That was my next question.
I didn't expect there to be that much music, but you had actually said it was a musical when it might have been on the air. I don't remember when we talked about it. You had said it's a musical, so I'd upped my music expectation. I didn't find the songs appealing. I'm not opposed to musicals. I mean, Rocky Horror Picture Show is a musical too, and I love it. So, although overall I thought it was a little boring and very predictable, there were some highlights. So I really like the Boogie Boys a lot. I really like that whole sequence where Jack is trying to figure out Christmas. So he's doing things like dissecting a teddy bear and stuff. Like all of that was really good.
Yeah.
But it was like, for me overall, it just missed. But there were some moments that were great kind of throughout it. But overall, not for me.
I'm going to second the scientific method montage as being probably one of the greatest moments in the entire, because like there was a playfulness to it and there was like a goofiness to it, and it really was like he tried to understand. He just was looking at Christmas through the Halloween like kind of prism instead of looking at Christmas as an entirely different thing. A little quick note, Diana is on as well and says hi everyone, hugs all around.
Hi Diana.
So thanks for joining us, Diana. It's very nice. I haven't seen Diana on a call before, so that's cool. Yeah. Or maybe we have, and I just don't, and I'm an asshole. But yeah, the scientific method, it was great.
Yeah,
I go along with that. Yeah, one of the best sequences.
The romance too was I don't know. I mean, that was one desperate chick right there, Sally.
Aww.
I mean, super, super desperate. So she's trying to get away from. Now, I thought about this a lot after our American Psycho review. So I have a couple other things to add. I've decided I need to delve deeper and find the hidden meanings in movies and books. So Sally was very obviously.
Wait, it just occurred to you to do that now? We've been doing this podcast for like 7 years.
Yeah, I know. And I tell you, I take a story at face value, but I was listening to all the misogyny and all the whatever from the last episode, and I thought, all right, so here's what I've done. Sally is desperate to get away from her abusive father, right? Because that's who created her. That's her, and there's probably some weird shit going on there. He grabs her a little too often, and she's willing to do it in any way she can. Including just running off with like the whatever, the king of the king. What is he? Is he the Pumpkin King? Right?
The mayor?
Town? No, she doesn't want to run out with the mayor.
The two-faced mayor.
Not sexy.
But ultimately, I think the story is about don't ever try anything that's outside of your comfort zone because you're just going to fail miserably. Jack should just stick to what he's good at, and that's being the Pumpkin King, and he should leave everything else alone. So really, it's about failure if you step outside your comfort zone.
See, what I took away from that was how many times had she tried to slip him Deadly Nightshade? Maybe she should have just
3 times a week. Yeah.
Yeah, she should have just given him more, like after the first time failed.
Yeah.
I don't think you can kill that guy. So
well, he could just put his brain in another. That's what he did, like in the movies.
Yeah, only half of it though, so he can have interesting conversations.
See, yeah, that whole Sally thing. The love, like, it to me, I saw it as like these are the only 2 lonely ass people in the town, so like they're just destined to hook up. Like,
yeah,
everybody else seems to be kind of happy.
So just
with
do it already.
Yeah, they're the ones. They're the only ones who don't know. It's like one of those.
I wanted to like the vampires more. I mean, my people and all, but they were just like weird, subservient, kind of lame characters. So,
well, one won an award. There was an award-winning vampire.
Well,
so
maybe they were Serbian vampires instead.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, let's not get racist, Jesse. Way too early for that. Way too early.
To get a little serious about something, so let's talk about when he discovered the portals to other towns. He's walking all night for some reason because he's emo.
That's what emo kids do.
Yeah, you're emo. You walk all night, and suddenly he what is a circle of trees called, Livius? We talked about this before.
A copse?
Could be a copse of trees, and he sees all these different. So like, I'm a little confused by the physics, and maybe it's just not worth asking, but he walks until he gets to this place that are portals to other holiday towns, and then he's like magically transported to Christmas Town. Do you want to pause to do a little drink identification?
No, go ahead. I didn't want to interrupt you.
No. I'm super excited you're doing the chocolate wine again. People who saw Olivia's on chocolate wine before will be excited as well. But so he's magically transported to Christmas Town. So it feels like these towns are separated from the world. But like fast forward to later in the movie when he and his like skeleton reindeer are flying off, he just flies off in the sky to go deliver the gifts. So like, what's the physics of this? How does this all work?
You know what else there is too? There's some point when he jumps into, because I think he's in the normal world.
The sarcophagus.
Yes. Okay. And then he's automatically back in. I thought about that for a second, but then it stopped animation and I just let it go.
But then later, when Santa is freed to get back home, he just jumps into a tube in the middle of the Oogie Boogie place. Like he knows that's the way to get home.
Tapped his nose or wiggled his ear and like there was gold.
Well, the tube was just to get him back out into Halloween Town because the Boogie Boys stuffed him into that tube. So that was just to get him out of the Boogeyman's lair.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not trying to defend this movie, but I do think that you're probably right, though, Rob. But I think there are some explanations. I think they all live in that suicide forest in Japan. That's where those trees are.
Here we go.
Right,
that would explain the emo-ness.
But a sleigh would be able to get him in the air and out across. He would just have to start in Japan with toys for the Japanese children, which they have to make themselves.
Gotcha. Yeah, you were made by children.
Yeah, and also that's the other thing. I had not seen this movie before, but the second that Ghost Dog Zero's nose lit up, I was like, I guess we know who's going to lead the sleigh. Like, I mean, like it was really, really predictable.
Yeah. Although the fog juice was a nice touch. Like they had to make it foggy on Christmas, and so dumping the fog juice.
There were, so that's the thing. Like the little parts of it were really terrific.
So, Livius, you're thinking if this would have been like, say, a half-hour cartoon on primetime, like Frosty used to be, and all that stuff, that it'd probably be better.
Yeah, a little less music. This is Halloween. I mean, it felt like all the songs were done to the exact same tune. Like I don't know. I just didn't. It wasn't for me.
So
we should have watched Krampus too. The cramp bird. I don't know.
Cramp eye.
The crampening.
The crampening. I like that. The crampening.
Veto.
Anybody have any other thoughts about the movie in general, or?
No.
It's kind of unremarkable, huh? I thought this was going to be like
I saw it when it came out too, like you did. I saw it in the theater, and then it got a very special anniversary theatrical re-release. And one of the big deals about that, besides, hey, this is in theaters for the holiday times, was that they were finally screening Burton's Vincent short animation before the film, which was voiced by Vincent Price. And kind of about a boy like him. And I'll say the short preceding the film, 1,000,000 times better.
Wow.
It is currently playing in Chicago at the Music Box Theater, both last night and tonight.
Oh.
So it's still in theaters. Jesus.
24
years. 1993 was the release date on this, in case anybody's wondering. I know we didn't mention it earlier. So
yeah, I went with a girl that I was trying to date when it came out in the theaters. I went with a girl I was trying to date and her younger brother. God.
Damn, dude.
Yeah. Her younger brother. So I was like, oh man, this is going to go great. I'm with this girl. Her younger brother's there. So she's going to know that I'm all about treating that kid good and everything. But it was all a ploy to like win favor with this girl.
What were you, like 16 in 93? 17?
Yeah, it was like 15, 16. Yeah.
And how did that work out?
That didn't work out, did it?
Together, but I mean,
it's a long story.
All right. Okay. Oh, never mind.
Oh wow.
I stand corrected.
It's got some ups and downs.
We're still working it out.
Yeah, we're still working on that one. So.
Does this involve getting ditched in those woods by your house?
I've definitely been ditched. Oh well. This is gonna get all sad. So
we're gonna change the subject before this gets too sad. Guys, do you want to give it some stars? I mean, I feel like we should give it some stars.
Yeah,
stars are good.
I'm gonna go.
How are you not like? You should be prepared for it. We give stars to everything. We always do it. You're like deers in headlights.
Oh.
Misty's a reindeer in the headlights.
Nice, very nice, Ron.
Oh.
I'm gonna go first. I liked a lot of Tim Burton stuff. I mean, I loved Edward Scissorhands. I love the original Batman movie. I've seen other things by him I've really liked. And this was a little disappointing. I think part of that's hype. I know a lot of people really like this, and it's an enduring film and stuff. It just didn't do it for me. I'm visually going to give it a representation right now on the screen. I'm giving this both of these stars.
Oh wow!
Well done,
Two stars for this movie.
Wow!
One of you guys go next.
I saw originally I really liked this movie a lot, and rewatching it, I kind of felt probably a little more like Livius might have around this time. That it was a little bit boring seeing it all this time later. So I'm gonna have to go 2.5 on that.
Wow!
Yeah, I know. Well, no, let's bump that up to 3 because it was only based on a Tim Burton story and not done by him. So we'll give it that extra half star.
Oh my god!
Do you not like Tim Burton?
Wow.
Are you like anti-Tim Burton?
I love Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and Edward Scissorhands is some good stuff. But yeah, he kind of went off the rails a little bit after Nightmare Before Christmas and got in too deep with Johnny Depp and shackling his then wife to be in all of his movies.
Did you guys too? I'm sorry to interrupt the thing, but I was expecting, and I don't know if there's a remastered version. I watched it on Netflix. I really found it to be the quality, and I know it's from 1993. I just expected a little more vivid quality, maybe. I don't know. I just felt like the quality of the film was off. I mean, the visual, not the animation, not that, just that it looked really kind of grainy and dark for what I thought I was going to see. No? Okay. That was just me.
Just you. Misty, is it going to be you or I?
I'll do it. So I don't like musicals, and it automatically loses a star for that. And I think it's really cute. And I actually love when they're making the toys in Halloween Town. And so they're trying to make cute toys, but they're all scary. And like they turn a dead rat into a hat. And the little rubber duckies, they have bullet holes that are bleeding. I think there's some really cute stuff in it. It is a little boring. I only watch it if somebody else wants to watch it. It's not something I watch on my own. But I do find it slightly entertaining. So 3 is good. 3.
3. Wait, so Livius was 2. Jesse, you were what?
3.
Jesse was a 3, and Misty was a 3.
Misty was a 3.
So Rob, you're gonna have to bring like a 9 or something.
It's not looking good for Nightmare Before Christmas. So, I hate Tim Burton. I think he's fucking awful. So, the fact that I was the one that suggested this movie is a little bit of a surprise even to myself.
Oh my goodness.
Tim Burton is fucking awful. Like, and if you look at, I was looking at, I was looking on IMDb, just to see like where it went off the rails. And Jesse, you're dead on. So you and I are like,
yeah.
So like, I loved Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
We're the same person, man.
We're the same person.
Aww.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure, awesome movie. Beetlejuice, really good. The original, like the Tim Burton Batman.
Beetlejuice,
hey, man.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Edward Scissorhands was where it started to dwindle for me. That's where, with Edward Scissorhands, Batman Returns, all that stuff was like the beginning of the decline. And this happens after those. So, not so great.
Hey,
I
what
like
about Fight Club?
What are you talking about?
Wasn't his wife in that?
Yeah.
Isn't that really the only way she gets it? Never mind.
I see where you're going with that. Aren't they not? I thought they're not married anymore. Are they still married?
I think. Actually, let me not talk like I know their lives.
I don't.
Right, well.
I don't think they are anymore, which I mean is a good thing because she's a good actor, and so. But she's only been in his movies for the past decade or so.
Yeah,
Either way,
they've been apart since 2014, according to Wikipedia.
Good job, HBC. So to kind of finish my wrap up, don't like Tim Burton. And anything that's good about this movie, I'm going to attribute to the director who was not Tim Burton. Just kind of bucking that Tim Burton. But I like the stop motion thing. I like the fact that it was like a stop motion animation as opposed to like, you know, your traditional animation or something, some sort of weird amalgam.
Star stuff.
Yeah. So I really like the look of it, even though Livius thinks it was a little bit, you know, low quality. Livius for me is over here. And the story, yeah, a little bit basic and boring. I don't like it when a story has an obvious resolution, and that is if people were to communicate directly to each other, these things would never happen. So that was kind of my thought through the whole thing. Yeah, 2 stars. 2 stars.
There we go.
Right.
So essentially, I don't remember what we gave Krampus, but I think Krampus might have fared better than Nightmare Before Christmas, because I believe that average, and I'm not a mathematician, I think that's 2.5 stars, which is pretty awful. In other words, there are better things for you to watch. Next year, I'm kind of promising that we're going to watch some Peanuts for Christmas.
I was thinking about that. I mean,
nothing better than a suicidal Charlie Brown to really get things going.
I gotta tell you, one of the best things about looking at Livius on the video right now is that Charlie Brown is just to the top, like right of his head.
Right.
It's the Halloween Charlie Brown. I don't have a Christmas one, but it is this guy right here. The Snoopy I keep in my car. There's a Snoopy that goes with me everywhere, just in case I need him. I had some things you might not know about Nightmare Before Christmas, but I think Jesse mentioned goddamn every one of them already, which shouldn't be any surprise to anybody that knows Jesse. So I'm going to go through a couple just in case listeners don't know. So it was inspired by Rankin and Bass's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, or Santa Claus is Coming to Town. That's why they did it completely in stop motion, although the technology was there for them not to do that in 1993. So they put a ton of work into it. Over 200 puppets, those little clay puppets. They had to make over 200 because there are over 60 individual characters that appear in that movie, which is a lot and a lot of work for them to do. So, a lot of people think Tim Burton is the director. He is not. He is one of the writers. I think Jesse kind of touched on that a little bit. He originally imagined it as a television special, which maybe would have cut it down a little bit in time, and Greg would have gotten it down to that sweet 42-minute mark instead of an hour and 15 minutes and made it hopefully a little less boring. They began shooting before the script was completed, which is
always a good idea.
Yeah, but I mean, the amount of work that goes into that, you have to imagine. I didn't look up any time specifically, but I have to imagine they put thousands of hours into this hour and 15-minute movie. So
yeah, they said there was like 100 people, and it took them like 3 years.
Right. So I mean, if they just start somewhere, right? If they have one scene and it's going to take them 3 months to complete a scene, or 2 months, then you can work on the writing.
I'm getting tired of this fucking duck with the bullet holes.
Disney originally, because Disney owns the property, has always owned the property, they originally kind of distanced themselves for it. That didn't really appear on a lot of the stuff, but they fought really, really hard for Jack to have eyes because they felt people would connect with a character better if the character had eyes. Now, in real life, that's probably true. If someone walks up to you and they have no eyeballs, you're less likely to connect with them. But obviously, they were proven wrong. The most difficult shot in the whole movie was Jack opening that door to Christmas Town. That was the most difficult for them to shoot because they wanted the reflection, and because they were using, like, this is stop motion animation. This wasn't CGI'd or anything. So they actually had to get a puppet and a reflection that they could do while he was like turning the handle and pushing the door open. So that was the most difficult shot to shoot. Vincent Price was almost Santa in this movie, but that didn't work out. And the only other interesting thing is that Patrick Stewart originally appeared in this and was cut from the film.
He was the narrator at the beginning.
Travesty, man.
Right. Yep. The narrator at the beginning. If you see the director's cut, apparently that's on the soundtrack. The film soundtrack has Vincent Price doing an opening and closing monologue.
Patrick Stewart. No,
Vincent Price.
Oh, my
Patrick Stewart was originally supposed to be Santa. That didn't happen. Vincent Price did a monologue that wasn't attributed to anybody. He was just an anonymous narrator guy.
You literally said the opposite thing.
You did say the opposite thing.
Patrick Stewart. Oh yeah, you're right. Patrick Stewart was supposed to read poetry because that would have made this fucking better. Some poetry.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me that they forgot the poetry? They forgot the poetry?
Wait, was there going to be any like sci-fi?
No.
Hey, Patrick Stewart's like one of the few people I would actually sit and listen to read poetry.
Yeah, it would make it powerful. I think it would be pretty powerful if Patrick Stewart read it.
Who's mowing the fucking lawns?
Tim Burton has no interest in doing a sequel, although he's been approached numerous times to do a CGI sequel. And he is not going to do that, apparently. Allegedly, till he runs out of money, and then he'll be down for whatever, I'm sure.
Well, he's about to do Beetlejuice too, so he's,
He must be getting there. So, this was Rob's idea, correct?
This is my idea. Before we step away, thoughts on Danny Elfman, because he's a very big part of this, and he wasn't brought up once.
Man, he should have just stayed in Oingo Boingo.
I knew you were going to say that, Jesse.
I don't really notice. I mean, I notice the music in this because it's a musical. I know he typically scores stuff, and I don't know, it just doesn't play into my viewing experience. He did sing, though. He was the singing voice of Jack. So he's in it quite a bit if you look at it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. He wrote all the songs. Anyway, I'm just saying, he's probably the best, for me, the best, actor of the movie.
Aww.
Yeah, I like him.
All right.
Danny Elfman, big dude.
Danny Elfman loves little girls. Comrade Chrome has some information.
Oh, no.
Great.
Shit.
This just in.
He just posted that Danny Elfman will be retiring from scoring films now because there's an accusation has just come out about Danny Elfman. You heard
Jesse,
first, guys.
You gonna social justice on this at all?
This is the first I'm hearing about it, but I mean,
that's all we need, buddy.
If that's what they're saying, then
yeah.
Like I said, guys should have just stuck to Oingo Boingo.
Oingo Boingo. All right.
I think it's about gift time. What do you think?
I'm going to suggest we move away from this and do gift time. So I think which one of you guys wants their gift opened first? So we're going to do this at 4 different times. So we're going to start with one person we're going to open all the gifts from that person. And then we're going to move into the next segment.
I'm excited.
We're doing Misty's?
Yep, we are.
I guess we're doing Misty's first.
Do it.
So this is our first ever visual representation of the gift exchange. Do we want to do them one person at a time or just go?
So.
No, you can. Well,
oh, never mind. Let's leave that up to Misty because
Rob and Jesse, yours is the same. Livius, yours is different. So Livius can open his first.
Well, that's how I did it too.
Look how nicely his is wrapped, by the way. Well, the bow.
Guys,
wow.
Look at that.
The bow might have suffered in shipping, though. It might have been perfect. It left your hands. So I'm going to go ahead and take this apart. Rob, I didn't open your outside box because I didn't. You didn't specify if I should open your outside box. So just.
Yeah, you should not have. Good call.
Right, good, I did not.
Misty, you keep this outside box like I do.
Well, you'll see why when you open it.
Is that making an appropriate amount of fun, festive sound?
Well, we don't have to make the sound now because people can see that there's wrapping paper. Sound less important.
I also picked that flowery paper just for you.
Thank you. I love that. Hey, look at what I'm using.
Oh my God.
This is given out by my employer, which is just more proof that my employer hates us because it's almost impossible to open packages with this.
That looks dangerous, actually, and not improved.
This is marginally better than having a butter knife to open things with.
For 2 of our 3 listeners, Diana and Comrade Chrome, got the snuggle bug.
This is amazing. So there's also a pillow that will fill this up. I'm assuming that's what the rest of this is, right?
Yes.
So this is a throw pillow with a precious moments inspired
Patrick Bateman.
Yeah, American Psycho Patrick Bateman. This is amazing. Misty, this is absolutely wonderful. I love it.
I thought of you immediately.
I love it. Listen, the only pillow in the world that I think would be better than this would be a Rias Grimory body pillow cover. But other than that, I've got nothing. This is awesome. Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right.
Y'all can open yours at the same time.
All right. Tape's coming off.
Oh, wow. White duct tape? This is fancy.
What the hell
Ruin that
is this? This is
fancy
massive.
Rob's gonna beat me.
Oh my god, what is this?
No way!
What is it?
It's a Good Morning Sluts throw pillow.
Hell yeah.
Yo, literally send that text almost. Oh, when you undo that, it's like Rob, it's vacuum wrap.
Love
So
it.
like when you take it out, it'll fluff up.
All right, so for people who are watching or listening who don't understand, Jesse, Misty, and I are huge fans of the TV show Scream Queens. And in the pilot episode, one of the first things you see is Chanel waking up in the morning, and she's got her 3 little minions at the end of her bed, and she says, "Good morning, sluts." And we send that to each other all the time in text messages. So this is like the best pillow ever right here. This is going to go very nicely with the Penny Dreadful pillow that Misty gave me as a birthday gift. Big pillow giver.
Misty has now achieved gold member Etsy status.
Yeah. All right.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
So good. So good.
We got a winner.
Yeah, so far, Misty, you're in the lead.
She's number 1 out of 1.
All right,
Good
let's
job.
real quickly. What do you guys, Misty? I believe you're not drinking because you're already high off a bunch of antibiotics. Is that correct?
I do have a bourbon cocktail.
Very
Oh,
nice.
because that's what you take with medication. I think it says on the side of the bottle. It says bourbon cocktails.
Yeah.
Alcohol's
Jesse-
medicine, man.
Jesse, something flashed by on your screen that sounded interesting a few minutes ago. Can you tell us a little bit about what that is?
Yeah, a couple of our audience members, Diana and Comrade Chrome, hooked me up with a bottle of Snugglebug from a California brewery. So I'm rocking that right now in a glass that Rob gave me.
Hey, Russian River. Those are
I
like
will
my
say-
favorite glasses.
Snugglebug is a great name for a beer.
It really is.
Rob, speaking of not great names for a beer, what are you drinking?
So I am having currently right now a Foggy Geezer by the War Pigs Brewery, which is a collaboration between Three Floyds and Mikkeller. Yeah, it's a hazy India Pale Ale. Hazy. It's really juicy, and every now and then, since I usually drink like sweeter beers that aren't so like tart, sometimes I'm like, am I drinking like it's a little briny? It almost tastes a little briny because of like how juicy it is. That throws me off. But anyway, that's what I'm drinking. Foggy Geezer.
I want you guys to see the innovation. In an effort to keep my bottle cold so that I can drink it, because warm, it's just really foul. I have here a lunch bag that has a gel ice pack
Beautiful.
and a more classic freeze pack. And I am drinking, because it's the holiday season, Petit Chocolat. Chocolate blended with red wine.
Oh, that was terrible.
This is where we're at so far. The goal is to finish this before the end of this podcast.
Hell yeah.
I believe in you.
I can do it. I've done it before.
Comrade Chrome does say Smog City represent. So Jesse, good job representing
Thanks.
Smog City.
Thanks to them.
Dude, I feel very good about the gift exchange so far, and the drink exchange. Jesse voted. I'm seeing the side of your headphones.
Oh, yeah.
I think the next thing we're going to talk about is probably going to be maybe a more controversial topic. But Rob brought this up. If I would have brought it, we would know it was controversial. But Rob suggested that we talk about the war on Christmas. Now, Jesse, do you celebrate Christmas?
Not really. I mean,
Okay.
I do the gift exchange with y'all.
Okay.
That's about it.
Misty?
Yes.
Okay, so Misty wears the antlers the rest of the time too, not just for this. I figured Misty was. Now, Misty, I'm going to ask a question, and if I'm prying, just tell me mind my own business.
No.
Do you celebrate Christmas in a religious way, or is it just kind of in the more consumerist, like more modern consumerist, cute way?
Yeah, the cute way.
Rob, would you like to share your level of Christmas participation? I mean, listeners, I think already know, but.
Yeah, I'm way atheist, so like I do the family, like we like to get together and give gifts to each other kind of thing.
Yep.
I really stepped it up this year by owning a Santa hat. This is the $6 Target adult sized Santa hat. And if you notice behind me, I got one of those lights that projects snowflakes. It's supposed to be for outside. I just took the stake part off and just sitting on the shelf above me. So projecting snowflakes. So this is probably the most Christmassy I've been in like at least a decade.
But you participate. I mean, your family and stuff participates probably in a more consumerist Christmas.
Yeah, definitely in the modern, like it's divorced from religion, but it's still an annual thing. Yeah.
Rob, I have a question for you. You know, I know that you're atheist and probably astute listeners know, but how do you manage to be atheist and not talk about it all the fucking time as you're vegan?
Oh, I'm not an asshole.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to check because I started a question. I thought maybe you were actually like a closet Lutheran or something, and
no,
you come out and say you were atheist every now and then.
So like
without talking about it nonstop.
I mean, I do have opinions and thoughts on that. But what it comes down to is like I was raised not believing in a God, but I was also raised to value what matters to other people. And so like
oh, you mean not be a dick?
To not be an asshole. So like if religion is what makes you a better person, I'm never going to question the fact that it's completely fucking insane that you believe in a higher power, because that's up to you. That's your journey.
What I find amusing, and I guess I'll preface this by saying I don't have any real religious beliefs either. I do mostly participate in Christmas from the very modern consumer point of view. Although I respect others' religious beliefs too. The thing with atheists is almost, and Rob, I'm excluding you from this. I'm talking about the very vocal atheists. It's kind of like as much time as they spend talking about how they don't believe in God almost like concerns me. Because if you just don't think it's a thing, then why do you fucking talk about it so much? Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like walking around all the time saying like, I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe in ghosts. Almost is like weird. Like, why am I so about talking about what I don't believe in? So it's always been kind of a weird thing to me. And nobody talks about it. We talk about vegans. We talk about fucking CrossFit people. We never talk about atheists and how much they
vapors.
Oh,
yeah, I don't. But then again, I fall into the same thing. I talk about vaping if somebody asks. Like that's really the.
I mean, it's a drive in anyone, right? To be recognized outside of themselves.
But the weird thing is, they're so yes. But with atheists, it's like wanting to be recognized for something they don't participate in.
For an absence of something.
Yeah, which is a little, that's what I'm saying. It's almost questionable how much some atheists talk about being atheists just based on.
Yeah. And I think that like, for me, my perspective on it is like, I've always known that there is no God. So like, it's not a revelation. Some people became an atheist after being religious. Some people, so their journey is like through, like some people are framing atheism on the foundation of belief. And so for them, like they're evangelical about atheism the way that people would be evangelical about religion. And so like,
so but sometimes themselves is what you're saying, probably their need to distance themselves from something from before maybe is why they identify so strongly.
Yeah. Or they see it as a harmful thing. Like you have a bad experience with a religion. You want to stop that religion from happening, or you want to open people's eyes. I realized the fruitlessness of trying to change someone's religious beliefs. I think it's easier to try and make sure that someone's a good person than to change what they believe or don't believe in. So, yeah, I have a very like tame atheism, and I'll always talk to people about their religion because it's fascinating to me, like to know what, like you seem like a smart, rational person, plus you believe that an invisible guy in the sky is judging you all the time. Why? What got you to that point? And so, yeah, I'm more curious than anything.
Do you think it's cultural too? Like Livius, I'm just curious. because with American society, you know, we've got it down in writing, and historically it's like there's supposed to be this separation between things, yet religion has like come head on into our society and our politics. So I wonder if that's maybe a reason why atheists are so vocal, because, you know, lines are being crossed that weren't supposed to be crossed, and they're kind of affecting an overall picture.
I mean, anything's possible. I was genuinely asking the question because I'm curious as to why. That could very well be one of the reasons. I really like Rob's idea that if it's somebody who was devout, that it's almost important for them to be vocal about their findings or their personal findings, because they were probably very vocal about what they believed in previously. So all it's done is switched, you know, what they talk about. Only this time it's saying, I don't believe that's a thing. It could be something that could be politically driven. I mean, I don't think we live in a terribly politically driven society nowadays or anything, but
oh, stay tuned for the conspiracy episode.
Stay tuned for having some more drinks and me and Jesse talking about shit. But at any rate, I mean, look, I don't want to shit on atheists. I really don't, because I don't know if I call myself an atheist.
I don't want you to shit on me.
Yeah, that's a whole different episode and another. That's like a second bottle of chocolate wine.
Hey,
but fuck it. This is the Christmas episode, right? So there's no holiday for atheists going on right now. So if we can't shit on them now, when can we? Right?
I think isn't Festivus like the atheist celebration?
No,
celebrate?
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Oh,
Comrade Chrome does say he only celebrates Christmas for the tamales. So I think he's got a very
damn straight.
Yeah.
Listen, Mexican people
Wise
take
approach.
Christmas really fucking seriously.
Yeah, they go to
And
church
Morrissey,
And Morrissey?
from what I've heard, yeah.
Really?
I
Wait,
hear
Morrissey takes Christmas seriously?
I hear he's really big. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, but now that we're talking about atheism, we're talking about Christmas. I wanted to talk about the war on Christmas a little bit because, like we were talking about in the political climate, our president did say we will say Merry Christmas again. Recently, I think back in October or November, he said that, which is fucking dumb because who's not saying Merry Christmas? And so, like, the war on Christmas, it's a thing. And so I did a little research because, like, if you talk to most people, all right, so before I go into this, what's the first thing you think about when the words war on Christmas are said? Jesse?
Someone's like stealing mangers from yard displays and burning them in a pyre.
Okay. What? Okay. Have you seen that in the news, or that you just make that up?
No, I'm just making shit up.
All right. So, like, newsworthy things that have happened in the news. Like, where does your mind go?
To war on Christmas?
Yeah.
People losing their shit over a fucking Starbucks cup design.
Starbucks cup design. Yeah. Misty, anything else?
I don't really pay attention to the news.
Wow.
The only news station they have in Texas, by the way, is Fox News. Just so you know. You can't even get CNN once you cross the border in Texas. So,
which is really conflicting because Fox News is the legitimate news source, but it's also the fake news. So Texans are.
Rob, I think for me, it's really censorship is what I see. The condescension towards people wishing somebody a holiday that maybe isn't their own.
Okay. All right. Starbucks is probably for me the biggest thing, like in the news. Like 2 years ago, they went from having somewhat Christmas themed cups to something more neutral, holiday like, but not specifically about Christmas, which enraged all like the fucking soccer moms in the world. And there was like these protests where, like, you know, the fucking protests are with this. This is like my favorite thing about the whole thing. Like when they ask you for your name to write on the cup.
Oh yeah,
you tell them your name is Merry Christmas, so they have to call out Merry Christmas when your drink is ready. But that means they're going and spending money at Starbucks.
Right.
It's like the dumbest protest. You're reinforcing there anyway. I did a little research, so like you're right. The holiday, saying Happy Holidays. I think I work in retail, so like saying Happy Holidays instead of Christmas and having that one angry guy with like a big belly and suspender, not Santa Claus, but like, you know, redneck, a redneck. going like, "How come you're not saying Merry Christmas?" That kind of thing is something that I've experienced.
Really the guy too. I mean, I also in retail. That is the guy that.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. He's that guy. So there are things that we experience. But I did a little research about how American Christmas really is, and I have just a couple of quick statistics to quote. When do you guys think Christmas became a federal holiday? Any guesses?
1941.
All right.
I'm gonna go earlier than that. Probably around 1900.
Anything else, Misty?
Misty's like, God gave us Christmas. We didn't acknowledge it.
It has to be made a federal holiday? No, I have nothing. Continue.
It was made a federal holiday June 28th, 1870.
Nice.
So it has been a federal holiday for quite a while. But that means for the first almost century of the country's existence, Christmas was more observed more on a regional level. It wasn't actually recognized as a federal holiday. And at the beginning, the what are those people?
Pilgrims?
Puritans.
Mm-hmm.
Pilgrims who were Puritans were very anti-Christmas. And so like they banned, not banned, but they were very much against the practice of Christmas. But like certain religions still practiced. But it was definitely not an American holiday for the entire duration of our country. And actually there's like a local Livius, I'll say you might know about this. This is a personal experience in my life. For me, the war on Christmas has been going back to like my childhood. If I said the name Robert Sherman, does that mean anything to you, Livius?
No, I mean, I know there's like buildings and schools and stuff named after him, but I don't know who he is specifically.
So he was a very active atheist activist in the 80s and 90s. And he was famous for like suing townships who had religious like things on display because it was infringing on the whole like separation of church and state. And so the town that I went to school in high school, Wakanda, actually there was a very well-known case where the town had 2 water towers and there was crosses at the top of the water towers for the Christmas time, and he sued to have the crosses removed and was successful, and everybody hated him, and then there were stars on the water towers instead of crosses. So it's probably my first memory. That was 1989. It was a big deal.
Right. So I was thinking about Roger Sherman, the one of the founding fathers, not the same guy.
Different Robert Sherman.
Yeah, I'm like, why am I? Sounds familiar, but yeah, it's Roger Sherman. Yeah, I mean, so let's talk. We have church separation of church and state, which I think is a good thing. I'm not even a church person.
Yeah.
So let's I guess talk about that a little bit. And I'll throw out some questions. So I'm going to start with one extreme, I think. Jesse, your thoughts on public buildings. So schools, for example. I don't know about crosses. Crosses probably really gets to the heart of religion. But if a school has a Christmas tree decorated in very traditional Christmas stylings with an angel topper, is that too much? Non-separation of commingling of church and state?
I think it depends on whether they have other stuff too. I mean, if it's a public institution and there's public money involved and all that, then don't you kind of have to represent all who want to have representation and not block?
I don't know. I was asking you, so I'm going to guess that you think.
That's my general thought on it. Sure. I mean, Christmas tree, yeah, fine. It's a Christmas tree, whatever. I really don't care. But if someone is being blocked from like having a display that has a different December time faith represented, well, then that Christmas tree does become a problem because you are no longer observing separation. You are now discriminating.
Okay, so how far down, Misty? I saw you agreeing with Jesse. Which am I correct? Is that what the devil horns were, or were you practicing Satanism?
Yeah. No, I completely understand why there is a a tendency to not want to involve themselves in any kind of holiday representation because there are so many different kinds. It seems like it would be okay to have a Christmas tree because, I mean, you go out to any store right now, there's Christmas trees everywhere. But if you put a Christmas tree in a classroom and you have a child who doesn't celebrate Christmas and they're having to be like, okay, I understand what that holiday is, and they're probably comfortable having it there, but you're also not representing what they have in their home. And then so how many different ones do you have the obligation to represent? I think you shouldn't have it there in the first place.
Rob, I see the nod, so I'm gonna say you probably agree with this, right?
And for the most part, like, I think that, I mean, everybody blows it out of proportion, and it ends up being more about I'm right, you're wrong, than it does like, hey, let's be reasonable about, the shit, because like, we're all gonna have different ideas. If I wanted to be equally represented to Christmas and Hanukkah and any other like holiday that happens around this time, how would that look? There's no specific atheist, So like,
I would also like one section of nothing.
Yeah, I want
just to the left of the Christmas tree.
I want a corner, just a corner.
2 feet of blank wall. So it becomes ridiculous. It becomes ridiculous to fight for only Christmas, saying it's a Christian nation. It becomes ridiculous to say everything needs to be represented equally. Like it becomes more semantic than it does. Like it takes away from like the feeling of what we're supposed to be like in the holidays. It's stupid. Like, I'm okay with Christmas. I'm okay with Hanukkah. I'm okay with all these different holidays. If I see one and not the other, I'm not going to be like, it's just.
So I'm going to circle back around to Jesse. So Jesse, how far down should we, in your opinion, drill down on this? So Misty was all right. So, I mean, at what point do we have to put up like a pitchfork and like burn a child because that's what Misty believes in? And I mean, I'm saying that jokingly, but I mean, like, like if Satanists
Did you watch Mother this weekend?
I mean, it is the winter solstice, right? So, I mean, we have some other I'll say fringe religions. I don't know how many witches watch the show, but
we could have a big witch contingent that we're now aware of.
Listen, you never know. So I guess, I mean, I get what you're saying. So Jesse, you're on we should have nothing, correct?
I mean, I don't know. You either have to have nothing or you have to have everything, right? I mean,
I don't think that's necessarily. Sure. I mean, yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I think if we're talking about classrooms, right? We're talking about school.
Well, Olivia's just an example.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Is like, what's the arena here that we're talking about?
So we're going to separation of church and state. So I mean, we can get to stores because I have some thoughts on stores and how they treat this too. So,
well, if we're talking about schools, though, I think it's okay to poll your class if it's a homeroom class or, and find out what they want represented in the class. Because I agree with Rob, too, that stuff gets blown out of proportion. You shouldn't lose the spirit. The spirit, whether you believe in something or not, Christmas is everywhere right now. Mm-hmm. And so to lose that just because you can't agree on something, I think is blowing it out of proportion. But that's just an answer or a potential answer for a classroom.
And what I'll say, as a person who, again, raised atheist, if you want to fucking take a little side road here, this will be really quick. Think about the Pledge of Allegiance. At some point, the Pledge of Allegiance under God was added to that. And like, so one nation, well, first of all, saying the Pledge of Allegiance is probably the most Nazi thing like this country has ever done.
Right.
But like, that's neither here nor there. My point, I was so okay with just like skipping those two words. One nation, indivisible was how I rolled. I just didn't say the under God part because fuck that. I didn't believe in that. No one ever called me out on that. But like, I consciously chose to skip those two words because it didn't apply to me. Yeah. And I was fine with that. Some other people might be like, oh, you're trying to make me love God. And, whatever. But for me, I was okay with that low key, just kind of dissent without making it a big deal.
Well, it only becomes a problem when people are forced, because with that specific example, there are examples out there that are documented where people have been forced to say it or face consequences. So it's, it's when, like, so you could say, like, people making a big deal out of something, it can go both ways. Like, the overreaction can happen on both sides of the coin.
Absolutely. I don't want to get away from this because this is my favorite thing this episode. John Gatwood used a little obscure way to get a hold of us. He says, "Hi, Rob and Liv and Jesse and Misty." John, a longtime friend of Rob. John and I are almost like twins. We're born on the same date.
Oh, wow.
Not the same day, because he's significantly younger than I am. But hi, John. How are you, buddy? Good to hear from you. So yeah, I mean, that's it. So let's talk about, someone said we are a Christian nation. I know it was said kind of in the course of talking. Are we a Christian nation?
Oh, not if the founders weren't. I mean, if the founders were anti-Christmas, I mean, okay, you got the whatever. Okay, if this is for Rob because he wanted this.
I'm uncomfortable.
We'll just
Olivia's
Misty, just take a knee if you're uncomfortable.
Well,
so are we a Christian nation? I mean,
no,
we're not. But like people, the Christian people will argue that we are.
Right. So how do we determine if we're a Christian nation? Right. So when we say that statement, I mean, it's not in the Declaration of Independence. I mean, it does say under God, I guess. Technically, the founders of the country did say one nation under God, right? Like that's
no, it was never in the Constitution.
That was added to currency and to the Pledge of Allegiance and like basically everywhere in like the mid 1900s.
So no mention of God, and I'm not a historian by any means, so I'm not questioning this. No mention of God in the Declaration of Independence.
No, there's no God in our founding articles.
Right.
How would we tuned in back then?
Other than the founders, is there a way to determine that a nation is a particular religion? So how do we determine that there's a Muslim nation?
It turns out that I have some statistics on the religious like breakdown of the country from 1948 till now. We are a majority people who are religious, and but that statistic is changing. So I think Protestants were the highest number. But I didn't break it down. I just broke it down to religious and non-religious. In 1948, 91% of the country identified as one of the main religions, be it Christianity, Judaism, whatever. 91% total. Cut to today, 74%. So there is a significant decrease in the number of people who are religious in our country. Atheism from 1948 to now went from 2% to 17%. So,
all right, hold on a second.
I don't think Judaism counts in this argument, though, because people are arguing that we're actually a Christian nation.
Right? So, no, and I'd love to see more numbers to break down, because I was going to say, I mean, if there's a vast majority, and I'm not Christian, so I'm not arguing this to further my own point. You know, if 70% of our country is Christian, are we a Christian nation? I mean, where the people who vote are Christian, right? The majority of people who vote follow one religion. Does that make us a nation of that people?
Nope.
Okay. So then I'm going to assume that so then are you guys on the thought that there are no countries that are religiously assigned? I don't know what the other word is.
Well, countries that have religious governments absolutely would be.
Yeah.
So, but you're basing that based on the government, right?
Yeah, that the government has religion tied into its operations.
I see what you're saying. Okay, because I was going to say I'm pretty sure that our current president is tied to one religion.
Hey, let me ask a question because
it's tied to the same religion.
Let me ask a question because I don't know the answer to this.
Sure.
Are Protestants considered Christian?
They're Christian.
Yes.
And are Catholics also Christian?
Yep.
Yes. So you've got Catholics and Protestants.
Lutherans.
All right. So if you add up the Protestants and Catholics in 1948, it was 69% and 22%. Livius?
That's
91.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean,
that's 91. Today, Protestants, as of 2015, 38%, Catholics 23%.
Yeah, so still a majority, and that's what I was saying. And again, I'm not making an argument for it, but when the majority of the country sides one way, there is an argument there that this country then is Christian, right? I mean, there are the same people who put people into power to make the decisions for us, and I would think that they make a lot of those decisions, if they're not just saying it, if they truly believe in their faith, are making some faith-based decisions.
Well, then if that's the case, then I could argue that the trend is it is becoming less and less religious. So eventually we will be an atheist country.
Yeah, probably. I don't doubt that. I mean, religion is, as we find technology and science and, I don't know, rational thinking more prevalent, it's going to fall away. I don't even think that's debatable.
Missy?
Oh, no, the only thing I was going to say is the country was founded or the reason that people came here from England was to escape religious persecution from Catholicism or from a version of Christianity. So for this country to then adapt or adopt a Christian I'm sick. I can't think of the right words, but you understand.
To basically say that like Christianity
we are
is the right
associated.
way.
Yes, that goes against the whole reason that they came here, and I just don't see that ever happening. And even though they put in like under God, I don't think they were really meaning, or those people may have been.
Oh,
Christian,
they were.
I think they were Christian, but maybe it was ill-advised. But even if it wasn't, I think that they left it more open. They didn't say which God, right?
Again,
Yeah.
I'm not a historian, but I do think that the escape from religious persecution was the freedom to believe in what you want, including nothing.
Yes.
So I don't think that means that they were trying to not be Christian. I think that just means that they wanted to worship and believe however they
freely
felt was appropriate.
Yeah.
Freedom.
Which is how you wind up with Lutherans and Methodists and Baptists and a variety of other that all and again I apologize to anybody who's watching if Baptists aren't Christian or whatever I just said is wrong. But really
everything you said is correct.
Right. They're all under the same umbrella.
They're all from Protestants.
God, Jesus.
Which really just means the Christians can't agree with each other.
Yeah. They all find their own ways to interpret the teachings of God and whatever. Like I said, personally, I don't care, and I know I'm taking that side, but I'm playing devil's advocate here.
You would care if you sat through a lot of Catholic weddings.
I mean, I went to a Lutheran school for the first 5 years of my education, so I know it was the first 5 years, but that included a mandatory attending church on Sunday, like 3 hours of church every Wednesday.
Damn.
So I was indoctrinated early. Not because my parents thought I should be, because it's the school they thought was going to be most beneficial for me when I was a youth. And then that wore off in 5th through 8th grade.
They gave up on you?
Product of Chicago public schools.
The holy water would burn his skin.
Yeah, so that's, I want to acknowledge Comrade Chrome did say a little while back, Christmas is Viking cultural appropriation. Praise Odin. So
I would just like to say, for the sake of our listeners, that I don't believe Comrade Chrome to be a reliable source for his thoughts on Viking cultural appropriation or Danny Elfman's love for little girls. The thoughts expressed by Comrade Chrome are not the thoughts expressed by Booked.
Hold on. But here's the thing, though. A lot of Christian tradition is stolen from pagan religions. So
every religion, all of them. I mean, we just talked about all the religions that celebrate shit in December, for God's sake. I mean,
oblivious right now.
I mean, people used to celebrate shit that actually mattered.
Like a cat.
You know.
Hold on. Jesse's talking about things that matter. I want to hear this.
No, pagans. They used to worship shit that mattered. Like we worship the harvest and the planting and all of these other things that are necessary for life. And then other religions came in and appropriated those days or those times of the year, and we're like, now we need to celebrate this dude or this saint or whatever. It's like those don't sustain life.
I don't know if that's the direct progression, but I like where your head's at.
Probably not the direct progression.
There is a lot of copying of Christianity of other faiths, which copied other faiths, which it gets really tricky to find out who the first one thought that child born of virgin birth late in the year was going to save everybody. It's so yeah, there's a lot of that, and there's if you want to see a quick primer on that, Zeitgeist. It's available on YouTube for free. The first third of that documentary film covers the amazing amount of crossover and similarities between religions.
Is that before he gets into like the 911, 9/11 truther shit?
That is correct. It's before it gets into a good analysis of what might have happened on 9/11. That's all I'm saying.
So, wrapping up the whole war on Christmas thing.
I'm not done.
Oh.
Whoa.
Well,
those are serious eyes.
Proceed, sir.
It's already 9:10. I feel like it's time for another gift. I don't know.
You know what? Let's do that. And then I want to, because I really want to get back. So we talked about church and state, but we didn't talk about like the inundation of society. So we didn't talk about the other side. But let's celebrate that side by opening a gift. I am going to go last, partially because there's a little bit of a blunder with one of the gifts I sent didn't arrive, and then I would really like Rob to open my gift last. So if I could get a volunteer from Jesse.
Rob's going up because I got his right here.
Oh, right. Rob's next.
Open mine.
Rob all at once. What are we doing?
Misty and Jesse go together. Livia separately.
Right. Which one do we open first?
I don't care as long as you guys choose the same ones.
Jesse.
I got the soft one.
Squishy one, yeah! Also, I love that we are getting each other the same things.
Get the fuck out! Oh, it's Coney!
Can you see mine, Jesse?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that is hilarious. I feel like we just scream queen this Christmas.
Yeah. So
you're gonna be so disappointed in mine.
Guys, when does this show come back?
Never.
Oh, fuck you, Livia. So for the people viewing, the Kappa Kappa Tau t-shirt was the sorority from Scream Queens, and then Jesse was wearing the Coney one, so that was good stuff.
This is Rob's way of saying, hurry your ass up, season 2's coming.
Oh my god, you did not do that to him. Jesse, he's saying the same thing through me for you, just so as you know.
Yeah, he gave me this lovely lady, though.
I gave you Maeve because you're the social justice warrior, Jesse.
Those are from
because I'm the hooker with a heart of gold?
If I'm correct.
Wait, am I the rapist?
You're the gozer of the group.
You are the gozer. You like the big bad. So
I am the big bad.
Yeah, you're the Glory. I'm the Buffy. That's how it is.
Misty, which Chanel number are you? I guess is the question. I know very little about Scream Queens. But you're like Chanel number 8, right? Is that
number 1? Obvi.
I'm going to open this really large box from Rob, so I apologize if I'm really far away from the. Oh, holy shit!
Oh my god!
Wow. This existed.
What is that?
Damn,
guys, Rob, I did not know this existed.
Neither did I.
Holy shit!
Oh my god!
It is a vault that makes a ton of different cases. They make a vapor vault mod case. Dude, yeah. I am going to Richard Thomas the shit out of this. This is going to be with me everywhere I go.
Yeah.
This is awesome. Thank you, sir.
So this was actually, it's good that Comrade Chrome and Diana are on this, because the reason I was inspired to give you this was because after seeing them in LA one time, not pretty soon after that, Livius and I were going to like a book event together, and I sent them a picture of like the 4 different mods that Livius had laying in his car console on the way there. And I'm like, we're hanging out for like an hour, and this is what Livius brought. So there you go.
The struggle is real. Thank you, buddy. This is great. I feel lame about the gifts I got you guys.
I always want to support your vape habit, as you can tell by the shirt that you're wearing.
Oh yeah. So hold on. All right. So now that I've gotten a lot of left wing people to tune out, this shirt actually does. This is last year's gift, and it says "Make America Vape Again."
I do want to say that the Gatwoods are on and viewing, and Alyssa does say Gatwoods represent, and John will appreciate my gift to you as well. Comrade Chrome does say that's pretty sick. So
Rob, I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to make a decision between you and Misty. This is pretty goddamn close.
Hey, before we go back to conversation, I'd like to take a break so I can refresh my drink. Is everybody okay with that?
Yes, same here.
All right.
Wait, I want to refresh a drink.
All right,
we can do it at the same
everybody who's
time.
watching, go get a drink. I'm just gonna sit here and vape because I came prepared with my ghetto cooler for my chocolate wine. So you guys go ahead. I'm gonna sit here in silence until you guys get back.
Make America vape again. Mava.
Vape again. I guess there's still people watching. I can just sit here and talk. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I'm really excited. So I totally lamed out on Jesse and Misty's gift. So you guys know, I just couldn't come up with anything. So I'm a little embarrassed at my poor choices. But I think I make up for it with what I got Rob. So stick around till the end. Not that this is a play to get you to stick around, but I totally think I may have won this whole gift giving thing. So it's not often that I'm really impressed with myself. This is one of those times I'm really, really impressed with myself. So hi, Alyssa, by the way. 6 viewers. This is, I think that we've held 6 viewers for longer than we have at any other time. We're going to get talking about real fun stuff, retail and Christmas. And then more gift opening. By that time, Rob will be drunk, so I'm sure there's something that he'll get into that we could talk about. That's it. Jesse. Oh, he doesn't have his headphones on yet. Jesse.
Yeah.
How's your new job, buddy?
Wait, what's that?
How's your new job?
A little up and down. Wait, one second here. I don't think we're back on, but I'm.
You just sign it.
Oh, yeah, I can sign that.
Jesse's taking care of domestic stuff.
Yep.
Momentarily.
This is signing my last will and testament here.
There you go. It's good to get it done early. You never know.
That's true. I have nothing to give, so I don't see the point. But
listen. You got to leave your debt to somebody, Jesse. It works like that. We are in the United States. You don't just get off because you're dead.
Well, Brittany and I aren't legally married, so I can't leave my debt to her.
No. Well, you're still.
I think if I die, the debt just goes away. Actually, I could stick it to the government.
I think you're just sticking it to the people you owe money to. More realistically, I don't know. That's going to be
legally married.
Because we're not legally married.
Everybody,
this discussion is happening for an audience.
Is there any other way to be married?
Common law?
You tell me.
I don't know.
Yeah, common law. Hello.
God.
That's 7 years, but we don't have common law.
In the eyes of God, that's the other way.
We're married in the eyes of God.
I'm uncomfortable.
I don't know. But for the record, we are live, so that's that.
Sorry.
So now I'd like to talk about being married in the eyes of God for like half an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell us of your 2 houses.
Hold on. Before we move on, I want to say that Linda is watching and said that I totally won and I gave the best gift ever. I don't know if that was acknowledged, but
I think she was talking to me. I was talking about my gift to you, to the people who were still on while you were gone. So I'm pretty sure.
Oh, no, I'm going to interpret that my way.
You should listen. You totally should. You totally should.
I'm interpreting this as Linda gave the best gift, but I don't have a gift from Linda sitting here.
Aww.
Drinking some Bourbon County barley wine, 2017.
Yeah. Does anybody else want to cover what they're drinking? Jesse, are you on anything different than you were earlier?
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
Insight Terror Bear.
Nice.
Snugglebug was so much better name. Now,
Snugglebug,
mixing beers isn't like mixing other liquors, right?
No.
It can be.
Okay.
Yeah, when you hang out
I'm
with
like,
Jesse and I long enough.
Okay.
Misty, still drinking some bourbon cocktails?
Yes.
Excellent.
Very good.
Hey, I want to say we're up to 6 viewers now. This is like a world record.
We had 7
man.
earlier, Rob. I didn't mention it, but there were 7.
It's like triple the usual. So
correct. It's because we posted things online. I think Rob and I were joking about posting stuff, and I was like, we wouldn't want to have both of our viewers miss the episode. All right, so let's get into this. I don't know how long it's going to take. So we talked about what we each think should be the separation of church and state when it comes to Christmas. But what about retail, right? Retail, and I'm going to throw in there television and all multimedia. So we can not have Christmas trees at school or churches on water towers, thanks to Robert Sherman or whatever. But you really can't go in public and not be assaulted with just one holiday, right? I mean, essentially, I've seen some Hanukkah stuff.
Yeah.
But it's all Christmas, Christmas, Christmas. It's the same thing on TV, right? So Jesse, we'll start with you again. We started with you last time, so we'll kind of go through. Your thoughts on the Christmas bombardment from people who can make money off of it, because that ties into my theory on this a little bit.
Okay. I don't know. I guess there's a couple different ways I look at it. Part of me is like, ultimately, I don't give a shit because I don't believe in it, so I just ignore it. But, if we're talking ideologically, our government has decided to grant corporations the rights of individual human beings. So when you come at it from that angle, it's very problematic.
all right.
I'm not sure. Okay. I'm not trying. Okay. So you're saying that businesses?
he brought in a different element to.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I wasn't sure that related to like bombarding us.
He
with
brought
Christmas
in a different element.
Okay.
He made it more evil.
Sure.
So I think. No, I guess I made it more. I guess I made it worse for people who actually think there's a war on Christmas, because if corporations wouldn't have been granted the rights of individuals, which they shouldn't have because they're not individual human beings, then they would be private entities and they could do whatever the fuck they wanted to do. And there would be nothing anyone could say about it. But since they were granted that right, it is problematic that they're doing things that go against certain laws and separations and whatnot.
Okay. Rob, thoughts? You're in retail. Good time of year for your company.
From this perspective, I see it all as like people looking at what's going to make me the most money. If like there was a huge spike in like, regionally it's going to be different. So like, for example, in Illinois, if you go to Skokie, you're probably going to see a lot more Hanukkah related stuff because it's a heavily Jewish population in that town. And from a company's perspective, it's all about making money. So you're going to go where the money is. And the majority of people, from the statistics that I quoted earlier, are going to be the people that celebrate Christmas, whether it's for Christian reasons or because like me, well, fuck, everybody celebrates Christmas. So it comes down to like, what's going to make me money. I'm not bothered by it. I don't think that it's as insidious as, I don't think that there's like a corporate conspiracy to Christmasize everybody. I just think it's like, let's Christmas the shit. It's fucking, but if there was one thing that I needed to stop, it would be pumpkin spice.
That's
a fall thing, though.
Far more dangerous than Christmas.
Mocha.
Now, that's fine. Now Rob wants a separation of coffee and state. Apparently. I don't know what.
Yeah,
get behind
pumpkin
that.
Spice far more insidious than any Christmas shit that anybody has going on. Sure. But I got to give it up to the companies that specifically choose to do their own thing, like Starbucks with their cups. Like the CEO, when challenged with boycotts and stuff, basically, and talking to his shareholders about things like that or other issues that they stand up on, says if this isn't something for you, sell our stock. You shouldn't own our stock. So I like it when people stand up for doing the non-Christmas thing because that's just what they believe. But I don't think that there's some sort of big conspiracy to Christmasize everything.
Misty, do you have any thoughts? Because I wanted to respond to Rob, but I'm going to give you a chance to throw your thoughts out there too.
I don't have a lot to add, so it's just, it's about profitability.
Right.
Like, I
So
think
that's what I
about-
was going
yeah.
to say.
That's what it is. Okay.
And I understand the whole Starbucks thing. I thought it was stupid. I haven't gone to Starbucks in years. I'm protesting, not because of the for a far more diverse reason than that.
Because they got rid of their Christmas cups, right?
I did not feel that
They
Starbucks was
wouldn't say
inclusive.
Merry Christmas.
That they were inclusive enough to everybody. So long before the Christmas
Vapors.
Cup conspiracy, the smokers at the
Smokers, actually, yeah.
time.
Smokers at the time.
So I've stopped Rob knows thousands of dollars, right? Like every year, and I think that's the best thing to do.
So you realize it sucks when you're in a non-inclusive environment then.
No, but Jesse, this is the whole thing. So really, I just vote with my wallet, which touches on what Rob said earlier, like going in there and making them somehow acknowledge that I could smoke out in public or whatever was not the solution. The solution was to spend my money elsewhere, or at least not to spend it with them. And I think it's interesting though, because I here's what I see. I see a lot of less Christmas stuff. So I don't see a lot of signs in retailers that say have a Merry Christmas. They're all happy holidays. I work for a retailer, although we're not directed to specifically. It's kind of understood that you're going to acknowledge that it's the holiday season, and we don't have things that are branded with Christmas. But it's all this bullshit, right? So Starbucks, for example, still puts together tons of gift baskets, bulks up their gift cards. They still encourage people to buy gifts, but it doesn't. It's not real Christmassy on their cups. So ultimately, they didn't do something that is going to impact their bottom line. They didn't say, "Hey, we're just not going to offer gifts." And I'm not saying Starbucks. I'm saying across the board. Doesn't
I
matter
was
what
waiting for
company.
a different company.
Right, but I'm saying just across the board. Although you may not acknowledge Christmas, you still pack your store with the giftables. They get moved up closer to the front for everyone to buy. There's still holiday cards that can be purchased that maybe don't say Christmas, but they've got like an angel next to a manger or whatever. So
You change the hours that you're open on
right,
specific days.
You observe all of it. But you just don't say Christmas. So I think, again, a company that truly would stand behind it would be business as usual. But when it comes down to it, all beliefs, all everything aside, all of those people are there to just make money, which is something I believe in, making money.
So what you're actually saying is they're doing this is a very Keaton thing. They're doing everything but actually doing it.
That's the truth. So, I don't think that we should. I mean, businesses should be able to do whatever the fuck they want. Like, if you're publicly owned or if you're privately owned, it's your blood, sweat, and tears that went into that company. I'm not going to begrudge your decision to put up Merry Christmas on every window or not to pretend Christmas isn't around. I just don't think anybody pretends Christmas isn't still a huge fucking deal.
Can I just take a moment to appreciate Livius's bookshelf there?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I mean, that's a little bit...
We got a Demon Theory.
Sure.
Demon Theory by Stephen Graham Jones, a little zombie bake-off. We've got Clevenger with Dermaphoria and the Contortionist Handbook. I see 2 copies of the booked anthology right there.
Oh.
Ooh, and an
I've read
FCJR.
A little farther to the right, you'll see the Will Christopher Bear collection. Down below is some Frank Bill.
Oh yeah, I see you got some Danielewski represented right there, but
Big
know.
time.
With the familiars. I mean, there is more books down here too. I don't want to say I listed them in order of importance because I didn't list them in order of importance because I also have. Rob might know what this is. I don't think you guys know what this is.
Hold on, stop.
Wait, talk again.
Hold on.
Let me in.
Everyone quiet. I'm going to talk for
wait a minute.
On the screen.
That Caleb sent that to you, right?
Caleb did send this to me. It was
Yeah.
part of a book giveaway, and the girl never got back to us with her address. The one that won, there was something we wound up not sending out.
But he signed
Caleb
it.
included this, and he signed it. I am not a contributor to this book.
2011. Damn, that's old.
Yeah, this is from booked year 1, month 2.
That's
This
2
is
months
the end
in.
of the second month of booked. So that earns a spot up here.
Wow, that endures, man.
Yeah. So,
I don't know if I have any swag that good.
That endures more than other books, right?
Yeah, we did. Keeping up the tradition, Jesse and I have had this kind of back and forth over the years of some sort of goofy, funny thing. At one point, I packed a box that I shipped to him with some. I destroyed a book to use it as the packaging. And then the next year, I can't remember what I did, but he also sent me like a copy of that book, but like had been burned. Like he sent me the ashes. This year I took part of that book and I used it as the wrapping paper for the gifts that I gave to Jesse. And I had some leftovers, so I again packed it to the package with crumpled up pages. Yeah. So
I think it's time to open another gift.
All right.
So this time it's going to be Jesse's gift.
Hey, Jesse, do I need a knife to open the inside of this?
To open what?
The inside of this?
No, he
Oh,
shouldn't.
good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Robin, Misty, you got the same thing. Livius.
Just I'm the odd one out here. Okay.
Livius, yours is an extra special gift this year. It's kind of a clue, actually.
Uh-oh. All right.
Jesse, you lied. Jesse, there's so much tape on this.
Dude, what's with all the tape?
Hold on, I gotta go get a knife. Damn it, Jesse.
Misty, might I recommend a clever cutter, which will open all your packaging needs.
Jesse, what the hell? I have to get a knife too. God damn it.
Jesse is nothing if not.
I have to go get my letter
prepared.
opener.
I'm very thorough.
You are, Jesse. You are. I'm going to continue opening this package because I was very prepared with a tool with which to open.
Perfect. Please do. We can talk about this while they're away.
Let's do it.
Here comes Rob with his 80s knife.
His butterfly knife.
Yep.
This is my fucking package opener. I'm going to stab myself. I know it.
I know. That's what I'm worried about. Jesse,
I always
can
break that cut away from yourself rule.
I do too.
I want you guys to stop
don't
talking
say
for a
it!
minute so I can talk about this.
Ooh.
This is a copy of Richard Lehman's.
Oh my God!
All right,
Jesse!
I'll let Misty squeal over me.
Misty, you really could have just waited for Livius to get
No,
to
that's
finish.
okay, Misty. You go ahead. I'll wait patiently. Someone see if Amanda Gowan is available. We've still got like another half hour to go.
Mom, is yours open?
Hold on. Oh, dude.
I know! It's so appropriate! Look at this! Now I have them both.
This seems like the fix is in. I'm just saying.
Dude, I'm so glad I went with the ones I did now.
Okay, I'm sorry, Olivia. Let's only pay attention to Olivia.
No, Misty. I please don't let me talk about my gift that I'm really excited about. So this is One Rainy Night by Richard Lehman, which I would probably classify as his third best book. I don't know. I've never really made a list. But I will tell you that more importantly, this is the only physical Richard Lehman book that I have, because I sold all my Richard Lehman books. I read them all. I ordered some from overseas. I don't actually own one because I'm all digital. And I say that because if people have conversation, they say things like, I don't really care about paper books, blah, blah, blah. This is awesome to have. So, Jesse, a hint, you say?
Yeah, that's a hint.
2018 book pick. Jesse, you son of a bitch! How dare you? Tell me
why
what
is
your
this
top
woman
two are.
screaming? Rob, why is she screaming like that?
She's acting like she had some chocolate wine.
Yeah, I'm not even screaming like that yet. I'm almost done with this bottle.
Jesse, are you fucking kidding me? You picked a Richard Lehman book as your pick for 2018 to beat me? To beat me?
I think it's because Misty turned the booked Patreon picks into a competition and was so pleased that you two loved her book, or at least liked it, and hated mine. And I told her, just
Jesse,
wait.
Goddamn genius, because I can tell you right now, I don't even have to crack this bad boy open. Misty's going to have a lot of fucking work to do in 2018. That's all I'm saying.
Rob, you might be reading 2 Richard Lehman books.
God damn it.
Oh, that would be brilliant.
Like, my fucking opinion doesn't even matter in this whole competition.
If we read 2 Lehman books, then you guys have already solidified next year's gift for me. Like, you don't even have to get me anything because Rob's misery is enough.
Oh,
Cheers, kids. Cheers. Hey, by the way, I'm getting there. I'm close.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
That was
nice.
low. I just want him to know.
Jesse, well played.
I am. It's
I'm
kind of
super-
boring if we talk about like what we're gonna do for Christmas. That never seems to work out for us. So
I gotta say, this was planned before Misty turned it into a competition. It wasn't just to show her up. This is always what I was getting Livia's.
good job, my friend.
You just gave him the vapiest thumbs up I've ever seen.
What else you guys
this
got?
is the vapiest thumbs up ever.
Rob, you see this?
Wait,
You see this? There are more of us than there are of you now.
Ooh.
well, I'm outnumbered again. It's fucking my entire life.
Oh my god.
Oh shit.
All right, before this gets too emotional. Anything else you guys want to talk about? I have something I want to talk about.
Let's roll with it.
I watched a Netflix series. I started Friday night at 5:00. I was done by like 1:00 on Saturday. You guys seen Dark on Netflix?
Was that the German one?
It is the German one.
Is it about Christmas?
It is not even. It takes place in like November. Is that close enough? I mean, for some people, that makes
No.
it a Christmas movie. Like if you mention the word Christmas once, and it takes place in the fall. No,
Hey dude,
Right.
Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Yeah, it is.
Dude, it totally is. We could have watched that.
guys, Dark should have been season 2 of The View. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey, what is season
The
2
View.
of The View?
Season 2 of The View is in hiatus. As we do not currently have a show that we can watch that is worth talking about. I'm totally down for watching Dark again and doing it as a season 2 of The View, but I have not spoken with Rob about Dark or that idea.
Dude,
I have a feeling that David Lynch is going to come back 2019 with another something or other for The View. Oh, was that like the teacup coming in to talk to us?
someone needs to take this
Or the tea kettle?
That was like the death. What do they call it? The death
Knell?
sound.
The death knell?
Yeah. Anyway, Rob, if you get this amazing opportunity, can The View be a
Missy is talking in another dimension.
We're not going to talk about anything that you guys just heard. Just ignore that. So nothing to see here. Move along, everybody.
Hold on.
Mhm.
Comrade Chrome says that we should do Nightfall for season 2 because that show is terrible. It's Nightfall with a K, like Knight fall.
Oh, that's on like weird like A&E or something. I think right. It's like a King Arthurian kind of. I think that.
I don't know. I'm taking it by the word night. Yeah, that it's.
There were enough Viking
shows.
shows already. Somebody was like, we need to do
Another Viking show.
another Viking show, but let's use knights instead.
I will say that Danny Boyle, actually, director of Trainspotting and a bunch of other things, has a show coming in January. I think it's called Trust. And
It is.
the very small synopsis for it sounds freaking terrible, but it's Danny Boyle, so there's got to be something there to
There's
it.
gonna be some Scottish accents.
Danny
I think it's an
is,
American production.
He's the guy behind the zombie movie, right?
28 Days Later, the first one, yeah.
Okay.
So what about Dark makes it so great? I think that we overlook.
Like I have trouble like how I'm gonna phrase this to people because the synopsis does not really take you in the proper direction. I think so. In watching episode 1, I was like, yeah, all right, yeah. If you like Stranger Things, yeah, there's some teenage kids in this. Like, okay, and it feels like a blend between it and Stranger Things, but it is so different than that and so much more.
Really?
There's definitely a supernatural element to it. But it covers like 3 generations where the same things keep happening every 33 years. So I really thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a very intricate show. It's not one that you watch kind of passively. It's an active watching show. And a little bit of a challenge if you can. I would probably suggest if I go back, I'd probably watch it with subtitles because
Your German's not so good?
My German's really. I'm not going to get into it. I know a few terms in German. I'm not going to get into it.
Usually, when you're on those.
I know.
Yeah.
I know the best words in German. It's
you something or other sites.
There is double. There's double dubbing. There's a dubbed version, but so after like an episode, you get over the fact that you haven't watched anything dubbed since like Kung Fu Sunday when you were a little kid. But the acting is still the voices, because they don't match up, seem real stiff. So I think it's a well-written story. I think the acting is terrible if you're watching the dubbed version. I don't think the actors themselves are at fault. I just think it's hard to get into from that standpoint. But what a great story.
So you can watch it in the original German with subtitles on Netflix?
Yes, okay. Yeah, absolutely. So I know nowadays it's harder and harder for me to even do that because I'm constantly looking at this, or you know what I mean? So it's a little
multitasking.
It's much harder from the times I used to just stare at the TV for hours on end. Now I'm doing a variety of different things. So I'm going to throw in a recommendation for this holiday season. Nice heartwarming show, Dark.
It's on my list, yeah.
Was it?
Pour a nice cup of chocolate wine, watch some Dark.
I've never even heard of it.
Yeah, I heard about it a few months ago.
It's a new Netflix original, but produced entirely in German. There's a guy, it's weird because if you watch it, you're like, man, they tried to get Mads Mikkelsen, but they couldn't, so they got this guy that looks a lot like him instead.
Now I really got to see it. Yeah, Livius actually reminded me that I haven't seen Slasher Season 2 yet, which is on Netflix. They picked that up. And I hear it's actually really freaking good, when the first season was just okay.
I fell out of the first season after like 3 episodes, so I just wasn't doing it for me.
Wait, what happened in the first season?
I don't know. I felt the first season was kind of lackluster. Like it was
it
a little more paint by numbers type, shit, and it was a little more like, using cliches to describe it kind of fits the show. But I hear the second season just blows everything out of the water.
But season 2 was the camp counselor one, right?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, so I can't remember what the premise is, but I think that might be it.
Yeah, I watched both seasons back to back, and season 2 is better. It's the camp counselor one.
All right, so I guess we've talked previously on previous episodes with our previous co-host Misty about whatever things your family did or whatever. So what is there anything you're going to be watching specifically because it's Christmas time? And we'll start with Rob. Rob, anything you're going to put on just because it's Christmas time? Is there anything you watch kind of every year or look forward to?
Not really. I kind of rotate through the non-Christmas movies just because it's like funny to do so. To be completely honest, a movie that I love to watch, there's like movies that I love to watch this time of year, and I like to revisit Gremlins just because I just love Gremlins. I wouldn't say anything very much. I think this year it's been a while since I've gone through Charlie Brown Christmas, so I'll probably revisit Charlie Brown Christmas just because I do work in retail, and in past years I've worked at the same place almost 7 years now. They did not do Christmas music, but this year they did. And
interesting. There's the almighty dollar in action, guys. We talked about.
All, give me the money. I know. I'm looking at my stock, and the stock's looking good, so I'm fine with that. But the Linus and Lucy song shows up every now and then, and it's just like in my brain. Like I keep hearing this Charlie Brown Christmas music, and so Livius, that was a perfect opportunity for you to play your little Snoopy, and you did do it.
So I don't have any of my Christmas themed Snoopy, so forgive the egg, but this is my jam right here, guys. I like everybody's head.
I think we talked about that before on the podcast. That was like the only song I ever learned on piano.
If you guys have ever seen Rob, he looks exactly like those kids when you see him on the stage kind of dancing. If you're familiar with Peanuts at all, that's how Rob dances.
I'm the one where like my head...
His feet moves in his head, but nothing else.
Correct. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. That's how Rob dances. So
Charlie Brown Christmas, I'm probably honestly going to buy it, so I always have it available on iTunes. But yeah, that's about it.
Misty, what about you?
I love Scrooged. That's my favorite.
Nice.
I'm a huge fan of Bill Murray. And if I was at my parents', we usually do Die Hard or Lethal Weapon.
Hell yeah.
Also, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang too would be
Yeah.
another one of mine, especially with my brother. That's my brother and my favorite to do together. So yeah, those.
Jesse, how about you? What is your listener recommendation for something heartwarming and holiday-like?
Don't really have a tradition on that. Lately, BC and I have been hitting the movie theater on Christmas Day to have our own little
Nice.
Just Us celebration. One year we got to see The Hateful Eight in the Roadshow version, which was the longer version, had the overture and all that, so it was kind of like a 1950s movie experience. And this year it's looking like Pitch Perfect 3 is going to be the Christmas Day movie. So we always try and hit something current that's playing in theaters. Otherwise, if we're at home, whatever's around, Harry Potter's always good for Christmas, or Shane Black movies like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang and whatnot. And now The Nice Guys is probably going to be
Ooh,
a
yeah.
standard. Just because I can't get enough of that movie anyway. Like the year it came out, I watched that so many times.
I have all right, so I'm gonna read. I got this a while ago and I was debating, but it's fucking Christmas. So I just got a message. Rob and I have a mutual acquaintance that we did not know we had until very recently. The mayor has now sent a message, and it says, "Nice podcast. Tell Rob he needs to dye his beer. He's enjoying watching our Christmas party.
His beer?
Your beard."
My beard? The mayor is watching right now?
The mayor was watching 9 minutes ago.
Oh.
Don't you ever dye that shit, man.
Now I'm like super paranoid that suddenly the lights are going to go off in my apartment and someone's going to start tickling me.
Or watching you bathe.
That's someone
Jesse,
entirely
that's
different.
just fucking weird. I don't know what happened there. All right. I'm with Rob. I'm going to try to indoctrinate a 3-year-old into the land of peanuts this year. I do love to watch me some Charlie Brown. I find that it doesn't hold up really well with today's youth. So I'm hoping that I can change that a little bit. So I took my older granddaughter to see the Peanuts movie 2 years ago. And really, I was sitting in a theater watching a ton of disinterested children. So the adults were all like, "Oh, that's so cute. Oh, nudging kids, right?" And the kids were like, "I'm so bored. Like, where are the Minions? Or where's Elsa? Or I gotta Snapchat some shit, right?" So I'm gonna try. We'll see how it goes.
3-year-olds are like, I got to Snapchat some shit.
Dude, younger and younger, man. I mean, 5-year-olds have phones nowadays. This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody that's the way we're
5-year-olds
going.
have phones?
There are
They do.
5-year-olds with phones. Yeah.
Damn.
So I spend time with a couple of 3-year-old girls, and they have iPads. They can work the iPads.
Wait,
can
are they
go
at your
mute.
gym?
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure.
How did you know? Yeah. So they can like find the stuff they want to watch. They can call people. They can do all kinds of stuff. They're 3. They're freaking 3.
Damn.
I'm going to add to the list It's a Wonderful Life, which I happen to find on at some point. I don't put it on ever myself, but whenever it's on around Christmas time, I'll watch from wherever I picked it up. So very, very traditional in that way. I still think it's a great movie. I think that catches a lot of flack because it used to play on repeat all the time for so long, and it's kind of old-timey. But I will say that's probably that and Charlie Brown are my jam for Christmas.
Are you gonna watch that Twilight Zone episode this year?
I usually watch that. We watched that for the podcast 2 years ago.
Alcoholic weirdo.
I think we should make.
That was
Misty
a really
watch it.
touching episode.
It is. Listen, Rob cries like a little bitch about everything, right? Like books we read and every movie he watches. He watched goddamn Baywatch and was in tears, right? So.
Did I cry at Baywatch? I don't think
I
I cried
think you
at
mentioned
Baywatch.
that you got teary-eyed at Baywatch because
Oh,
I was
well,
really
who
confused.
wouldn't?
Like, I mean, Alexandra Daddario's eyes alone could bring me to tears, but I don't think there was anything.
I do.
Or on the other
Art
side of the
Carney-
spectrum, you've got The Rock. You know, it's a little something for everyone.
Art
That's
Carney
not for everyone.
delivers that little soliloquy, drunk Santa Art Carney, and I'm just like a little, like I was gonna say like a little bitch, but really what I mean is like Rob. I mean like Rob.
Oh,
So like a little bitch. I can't get into that story though, because like really all that guy did is give up. And because he gave up so hard, he got what he wanted.
Dude, you give up hard enough?
Yeah, I mean, eventually the government just makes you Santa Claus.
That is, I mean, if that there's a moral for you. Like that's, I mean, actually, if you think about it, it kind of parallels Livius's interpretations of Nightmare Before Christmas.
Well, it's yeah. So that's. Are we ready to do the final gift exchange? We're creeping up on the 2-hour mark now.
Are we?
We are.
Look at us.
Damn.
So, I got a lot of drinking to do in the next 10 minutes.
Seem like it.
Time flies.
Oh my God,
we don't have to
Olivia-
stop at 2 minutes or 22 hours. Do
We don't.
No.
2
So
minutes.
here's what I will tell you.
Oh,
The
Lord.
event that you were just tuning in, this is what we learned last time. It will only let you live stream for 2 hours. So if you're going to this and you're coming in, there's no welcome to booked or any introduction, wait until tomorrow morning. The entire thing will be up there, even if we go an extra hour or so. So that's
Or
that's
2
what-
or 3.
or 3.
Hell
I know
yeah.
Misty has to work in the morning. I think the rest of us. Oh, and
That's
Rob
true.
does too, right? Rob, you're at work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's do this. UPS mishandled a package that I sent to Misty. So Misty is going to get to see a picture of what I sent her this year.
Oh, look at her. She's so excited.
I want to start this first because I'm going to need to talk so she can see it so it stays up on the screen. So kind of in keeping with the other gifts that you received, I guess I wasn't really far behind. Now, this product is also manufactured by the same people. It is not a pop vinyl, but Misty, you and I are on the same wavelength a little bit.
Get out!
No way!
I almost got you the same thing. That
So
is
I'm
awesome.
I'm fairly happy about this. I will be filing a complaint with Amazon, and probably a more stern complaint than I normally do when they lose
Hold
my
on.
shit.
I just in case someone didn't put it together, we both got each other Patrick Bateman.
Yep. That's what I saw yours. I was like, I was totally like, I was telling listeners you guys are gone. I was like, I felt really uninspired this year with your gifts, with yours and Jesse's gift. So, Jesse, if you would kindly open your box now. Now, the reason I told you not to open your box is there are 2 things in there for you. And the one, I didn't think to have gift wrapped until like way after the fact. So your like main gift is gift wrap, but there's something else in there for you. Anybody who watched our last live stream might appreciate this more than people who are just tuning in for the first time.
I want to say that it's nice that after Misty and Livius knowing each other for 6 years, they finally have something to bond about.
I mean, we have guns and religion and conservatism. Right? No, is that not-
Oh shit. Looks like we all got to get together and play some fucking games, yeah?
Yeah.
It is the longest spool of red thread because Jesse thinks you have to use the whole thing. So, Jesse, that's hours of entertainment for you. Hours. You just have
Yes.
to just keep going and going and going. Actually, that was Linda's idea. She was like, you have to send Jesse a spool of red thread. I was like, I can't just send him a spool of red thread. I was like, but I can definitely have one, throw one in the box. And then afterwards, I was like, shit, I didn't have him gift package with thread because I just didn't think about it.
So what you're saying is make a
a
Linda voodoo doll, not a Livius voodoo doll.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And use lots of red thread. So, Jesse, open up your other. I don't know what gift packaging from Amazon looks like. So, that's.
You know what? Okay, let's demonstrate this. Amazon gift packaging is really fucking fancy. This is
very pretty.
like a heavy duty bag with a
Pretty and
tie
reusable.
on it.
Jesse, that's reusable.
Say pretty and reusable. I thought you were talking about me.
Oh,
So, Jesse, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this is part of your collection already or not. I think I would know if it was, but
ooh, no way.
yeah.
Dude, I do not have this.
Oh,
So,
yeah,
Rob,
dude.
there are answers.
Are you
in
guys
that
going to
book.
review this still?
We haven't talked about it. I was thinking about it, and then of course, there's no way we couldn't have. I mean, I know that you weren't somebody who commented a lot on the View and stuff. We had a different Redditor that was
Yeah.
on there a lot.
Yeah.
This other guy,
But
Chad,
I
Jesse
couldn't think
Jones.
of somebody else that would tackle that better with us. But even if we don't, I wanted you to have that as part of your collection. So,
Thank you. That is a lovely gift.
Rob,
All right, so this I'm very curious about. No one's seen what Livius's gift to me looks like yet, and I probably have to stand up and step away because it's really
Woo!
Big. It kind of feels like it's like, you know, like you have those mirrors that are like body length. Like, look how
Rob,
big
I'm
that
trying
is.
to tell you, you got to start matching your shoes to your belt, bud. There's no better way to do that than to have a mirror to see them in. Would you kindly show the wrapping paper a little closer just for viewers that maybe say something?
Talk, Rob.
Paw Patrol. It is Paw Patrol.
Oh!
Yeah. Paw Patrol, bitches. Yeah.
Livius, did you find like one of those long uncut collections of 80s metal band mirrors that you used to be able to win at like the crankshaft?
Oh my God,
County
those are
thing?
so amazing. Are you kidding me? I would definitely not give that to Rob. I would keep that for myself.
Look how
Rob, please unveil it. Please unwrap your
Do you
present.
recommend a way to unwrap this?
I mean, no. If you can feel which way the front is, there should be. Look,
Yeah.
If you didn't figure out the frame,
it's
right?
Got
You
a,
could-
it's got a like a yeah. Oh, dude, is this? It is waveform. It is audio. Oh my God!
Out.
It's our first episode.
Oh.
It's our first episode.
Livius, shut your fucking face.
That is
Oh
adorable.
my gosh.
Holy shit!
Sorry,
You
Misty,
broke-
but I think Livius wins this year.
You just broke my fucking heart.
Guys, look at this. All right, so I'm trying to have as much of it in frame as possible, but like this is the entire thing. Livius took the waveform audio of our first episode and turned it into a framed picture.
That is
I have never been
fucking
prouder of a gift I've
adorable.
given. I'm pretty sure I've never been prouder of a gift I've given. I am very happy about that. So
Holy shit!
we're not at a milestone or anything, but I was thinking that there are things in the air that made me really kind of think about the last 6.5 years. And I thought, like, what? Now, Rob, I'll be honest with you. I think I told you back in July that I already knew what I was getting you, right? So this was in the back of my head as a potential thing for the holiday episode.
Yeah.
But over the last 2 months, I've known for sure this is what you were getting. It was just an issue of getting it all pulled together. So,
Holy shit!
Merry Christmas, buddy. And Merry Christmas to you guys.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
See, Trump said you guys would be saying Merry Christmas again.
He was right. Trump was right.
Oh shit! How did I love that? Hey, Livius, I gotta say, like behind you, you don't have a Frankenfurter, do you?
Jesse, Frankenfurters. I missed the boat, man. Do you know what a Frankenfurter costs right now? It's like
200?
like $150. Yeah. Yeah. They're steep, very steep.
Can't stop looking at that framed.
I got to
episode
tell you,
one.
Rob, I am, and I will. All right, so I'm going to go a little farther. You guys almost got the same thing, but then, like, I thought to myself, like, I don't know what Jesse's wall decor really like his plan is. I could see Misty's far too fucking classy for that because I see it in the background of her web. So I was like, I could give them somewhere. They're like, oh, this is cute, but fuck it, I'm not putting this shit on my wall. So I know that'll go up in Rob's apartment. So that's why you guys didn't get the same thing. And honestly, yours would have been rolled up. It wouldn't have been in a big ass frame because that wouldn't make it through any kind of shipping. So
Bra fucking vo.
Fuck yeah! Hassle clap.
Now I feel like I feel bad that I just got you a vape thing because like it's
dude, the vape is amazing.
Yeah, but it doesn't have that personal like you know.
I mean, you know, I have one of those for myself too, right? The poster, right? Like, it's unfortunately it's not. But I will say the genius part of that was I struggled with what to put at the bottom, and it was always going to be the first episode. But I thought Welcome to Booked or whatever,
Yeah.
and I was like, man, if I actually put an episode number on here, there are 370 plus other variations. So if we go 400 years, I've got gifts for the entirety. So.
Yeah, seriously, you got 373 at least right now, 373, and then it would perpetuate, so you would never run out.
Yep, listen. That's so.
It's thinking long term there.
Yep. So yeah, now we're in extra time. I mean, I'll tell you that the last gift wrapping dropped off like 3 fucking viewers. They didn't give a shit about what we were getting.
No.
So
Yeah, dude, we lost people.
That's okay. That's all right. We're in extra time. We're in overtime now. Now it's anything goes.
I bet you the mayor is gone.
It's past the mayor's bedtime.
I gotta tell you though, like going back to that,
My lipstick.
the ladies do enjoy the gray in my beard, so that's not going anywhere. I'm gonna say that.
I will pass your message on to the mayor when I next speak with him, which I'm sure will be at like 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Yeah, tell him the ladies love the gray beard. He'll agree. He knows.
So, guys, I don't want to start planning our next holiday episode because I know this one isn't over yet, but I think the next one's going to be Easter, right?
Wait, hold on. I was gonna make a play or a pledge or a request for what if
It's always
we
the
did
new ones.
Valentine's?
Jesus Christ.
What if we do Valentine's Day as like a funny thing?
I mean, we probably played out Easter. I don't know if there's much. No, hold on. Is the Easter
My
episode
bloody
the-
Valentine.
Didn't we lose like 3/4 of the audio for the Easter episode?
There was the disappointment-orama. No, we
But
lost.
seriously, how much
Yes, we
fun
did.
would like an anti-Valentine's Day, quasi-Valentine's Day thing be?
I don't know if I could do devil's advocate for Valentine's Day, but fuck, I could try.
Now, here's the thing. Raise your hand if you're in a relationship right now. Yeah, I'm the only one who's not in a relationship right now, so
Rob,
it could be
there's still 60 days, 50 days. Yeah. Well, but you could be the contrarian. I mean, I would love nothing more than talk more about fucking dating apps because I got to tell you, that was some of the most fun shit that we talked about.
that was great. I bet you I could produce another naked girl for my bed for that episode.
I mean, will this be a video episode? I guess I don't know. What are we doing? At any rate, let's call it. Is the next holiday Valentine's Day? I'm going to vote yes.
Yes.
Jesse's
Yes.
doing a thumbs up. And Misty, I mean, as a woman, your vote still counts. So yeah, so that's 4 yeses.
Oh shit!
Love it.
With the video, so y'all better come with outfits.
Mava, I don't know what. Oh God,
What do you
We
wear
don't
for
need to do
Valentine's
video
Day?
for Valentine's Day.
What do you
Wait,
even wear?
why not? I like the videos.
Okay, but what do you wear for like you as the person who wants us to wear outfits? What would you?
I was totally kidding. That wasn't a real thing.
All right.
I will wear pink lipstick though instead of red.
Oh, me too. Then I'll put some pink lipstick on.
all right. If Rob's gonna wear pink lipstick, listen. I don't want to put Rob's business out there. Was anybody else remember we were on a call and Rob didn't wear a shirt?
Whoa, you're putting that out in the world?
If we can get
I
Rob
think you
with
put that out in the
some pink
world.
lipstick and no shirt, then I'm down for whatever, just whatever that night. I want to catch up a little bit. Linda says best gift ever. I agree.
I agree.
Yep.
Comrade Chrome says I like to watch Passion of the Christ in my garage while I violently flog myself. Again, Comrade Chrome,
A little surprise.
the most credible source for factual information that we've come across on this podcast. But that's what he likes to do. I don't know. I'm out of stuff. I know we're at 2 hours. Maybe in my brain I planned 2 hours. So you guys are gonna have to run the rest of the show, I think.
Livius just wants to go to bed, I think is what it is.
I
Old
took
Livius.
the entire day off tomorrow so that I could make this disappear.
Yeah,
the
we gotta
stuff
keep
inside
talking.
disappear. I don't know if I'm being clear enough.
Oh, he's not done.
I don't want to make
You
the
better
whole
fill
bottle
that cup
disappear.
up.
That's a different podcast that we do.
Yeah, I've seen videos of that.
Guys, did you guys know that there was a hooker in Toy Story, the movie?
What?
I was trying to do
Oh
research
my god.
for this episode. Apparently, are you guys familiar with Toy Story? Because I've
He
not.
searched hookers.
Yeah.
So apparently, there must be a part where they go to the island of misfit toys or something because there's a bunch of janky looking toys. Does this sound at all familiar? So
It happened. Yeah.
So if you stop, apparently it's some frame, and then you can look this up. There are a pair of legs and stockings that have a fishing pole with a hook
Yeah.
tied to it.
It's just in the garage next door.
That's a hooker. That's a toy hooker.
Oh
A
my
hooker.
god. I
Yeah.
didn't
Oh,
know that.
I get it.
Yeah.
Wait, that's not the one that was written by Joss Whedon, was it?
If it's the first one, yeah.
I
Yeah.
believe it to be the first one. It was credited to Toy Story, not like Toy Story 3 or whatever. So
I've only seen the third one.
Oh,
Actually-
they're so good. They're all good.
The third one's really depressing.
Yeah,
is that the
they're
one where
all
the kid
good.
kills
That's-
himself or something, or am I thinking of something else?
That's something else.
All right.
Jeez.
Okay. All right.
That's a dream you had.
That's Sex Toy Story because the kid gets a belt.
Sex toy.
And
Why is there not a
Goes
sex toy
poorly.
story cartoon?
What is wrong with you?
I'm pretty sure. See, this is the whole thing. I go, oh, I just came up with a really clever porn title. If I Google it, it's already been done. I'm not even gonna try.
Yeah. Dude, they're on it. The moment like a movie is announced, the porn people are like fucking brainstorming. They have to be. That's the only explanation.
They're beating the release dates of mainstream movies.
Yeah.
Like, oh, hey, we know the title now. We can work on that.
Yeah. Suicide Squad becomes something else.
Something equally awful, but probably more watchable.
Yeah, because there's sex.
We're at that time of the evening. I'm gonna figure out what the Suicide Squad porn parody is.
This is going on Livius's Google search, not mine, because I use DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo does not track your shit.
On private mode?
Private mode all the time, man.
Dude, there's a new one now.
It's
DuckDuckGo doesn't work.
It's called Suicide Squad XXX. That is the lamest knockoff porn
super
title.
lame.
Yeah, I think they're
not even
stopping.
trying.
They're not doing the parody titles anymore. Like it would be like Suicide Wad or something like that. Like,
oh yeah, Suicide Wad. You like that? But
now they're just saying it's an XXX parody, right?
Yeah.
Suicide Wad would be way better.
Yeah.
Rob, maybe there's a future for you in a different genre. That's what you do.
That could be the name of the Valentine episode, depending on how it goes.
Suicide Wad.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
All right, let's bring it down.
Oh, Comrade Chrome says Suicide Squirt.
Yeah,
Not bad.
that's one too. Yeah, I like that. Let's bring it down a little bit. We didn't talk about suicide around the holidays at all.
Oh, I have a story.
Oh, do we save it for next year?
I think I already told the story on the podcast. I can't remember.
We're gonna save it for next year. Next year, guys, tune in 365 days from now when we talk about suicide around the holidays on our booked office party 2018.
Oh, that's so sad.
Someone's got to talk about it. What other
we
podcasts
do a
out
terrible
there?
job promoting this podcast. I mean, talking about like this bring your holiday spirits. We talk about people killing themselves is probably on par with.
We have a second for Suicide Squirt. Someone else also said Suicide Squirt. So, Ms. Gatwood, Alyssa. So, like,
jinx again.
Google Suicide Squirt. I don't. Does it come up if you search for it?
You could search for suicide. I don't know what you're gonna find, but
I'll do it.
Oh, it's about suicide girls and squirting. For those of you who are not familiar with squirting, Google.com.
This is a holiday family style episode. Misty covered her eyes so that she can't see what you're saying. See, that's not how it works. It still would have gone in your ears.
In every application of what we're talking about.
Yeah. See, this is the time where I'm like, oh, guys, I'm happy to hang out with you a little bit, but at some point we got to take it off. We got to take it offline before.
Do you want to go offline?
Let's go offline.
So, all right, let's do some final communication and love to our listeners / viewers, right?
/ co-hosts. I love you guys, Misty and Jesse. You guys are wonderful. Thank you so much for the gifts. Thank you so much for taking hours out of your real lives to do this with us. I really, really appreciate it. You guys are wonderful. Merry Christmas.
Right back at you, man. Thank you.
Ditto.
Merry Christmas, you fucking beautiful bitches. And I will extend that to our entire listening audience or / viewing audience. Thanks so much for the people who joined up to talk to us during our broadcast. So Comrade Chrome, Frank Edler, even though you really kind of tapped out at the beginning, and I'm going to hold that against you no matter what. Comrade Chrome again. Wow. A lot of Comrade Chrome. Alyssa and John, thanks so much. Linda also. You guys are wonderful. If you didn't make a comment and you were watching, thank you so much anyway. And everybody who
thanks to the mayor.
The mayor. Everybody who supports us on Patreon, thank you so much. I want to say Patreon almost became douches, and then they backed off and they're not douches. So keep giving us money.
Especially if you want to see the Valentine's episode, because I guarantee you that's going to be a Patreon exclusive.
So $1 a month. You can watch us talking about like suicide around the holidays. No, that's like Christmas.
If Rob is topless wearing pink lipstick,
yeah,
it's going to cost you $1 that month to see it. That's all I'm saying.
And all of our listeners who maybe didn't realize that we were doing this broadcast and caught us after the fact, thanks so much for everything. You're all wonderful, and we hope you have wonderful holidays no matter what you celebrate. And we love you.
Rob, I'm leaving a little empty space for what I'm wishing you this year. To everybody else, Merry Christmas. Thanks for listening.
2 foot of blank wall.
Have a good night, guys.